Hello, and welcome back to Here We Tow. This week we're reviewing the VW Amarok, and the question we've got is just how well does this tow? So if you want to find out the answer as well, stay with us
and join us
after this.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action.
So here we have it. This is the VW Amarok Highline 3-litre diesel V6. This model has 258 brake horsepower. It also has an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and this vehicle being a pickup, it is classed as a commercial vehicle. So let's go through some figures, shall we? How much does this vehicle weigh? The Amarok unladen will weigh just under 2.2 tonnes. It has a total payload capacity of just over 1.1 tonnes, and it gives it a gross vehicle weight of 3.3 tonnes, or just under. So the big question is though, what can this tow? The Amarok in this version can tow up to 3.1 tonnes, which is quite a good capacity, and because of the curb weight being just under 2.2 tonnes, it's going to happily pull most caravans that are available on the UK market. What about the miles to gallon? Well, the literature tells me it's going to get 33 to the gallon in a combined cycle. That's fairly good. When I towed with this VW, I was getting approximately 26, and I must say, in a 2-hour drive, I used under half a tank of fuel. So it's worked out fairly economical. Let's look at a few other things. How long is it? It's pretty long. It's 5.3 metres long, but don't be put off because it really does turn on a sixpence. I've done a number of 3-point turns, and with the reversing camera and the sensors, turning round is certainly no problem. The question you're going to ask next is, just how much is this Amarok Highline? That's a very good question. It's a lot of money. In its format, without extras, this vehicle is £43,000. That's quite a lot. On this one, there's an extra £3,000 worth of options, which I'll go through some of the most important ones. So this vehicle's weighing in at £46,000. Although that isn't up there with a lot of the premium SUVs, it's still a big amount to pay out in terms of pickup trucks. Many of its competitors are going to be in the lower price bracket between 30 and 40,000. This Amarok is up there with the Mercedes X-Class. So we need to look at what we're getting for our money, and that's an important question. With the pickup truck, as I mentioned, this is a commercial vehicle. Now, what does that mean to you? What it means is that if you are able to claim your VAT back, you can get the VAT back on this vehicle. It also means road tax for private and business users is not going to be as high as if you were buying an SUV over £40,000. At the moment, the yearly tax on this is £250. So less of the boring stuff, let's get on with the exciting stuff. Let's see what our £46,000 going to get us. Well, it's going to get you this great big truck. As I said, this one has extras, but let's just go through what I'm going to get for my money as standard, because for that, I'm going to want some kit. We've got electric and heated wing mirrors. They're not folding unless you go for the added option as an extra. We do get front and rear parking sensors, and we also get a rear camera, which to me on this vehicle is an essential due to the size of it. And those sensors and that camera do give you a view around the whole vehicle. It's very good, to be fair. What else do you get? Well, you get alloy wheels, as you'd expect. This one's got upgraded 19-inch wheels. You get a heated front seat, but you don't get heated rear seats. And the seats, surprisingly, aren't electric operated, they are manual. The seats are leather, which is what I would like for 46,000. The steering wheel on this isn't heated, and neither is the windscreen. Again, that might be something that I would like on a vehicle. However, What you also get, you get a great little light in the back to illuminate the back of the cab, and on this one, as an extra, we've got the sat-nav. The satellite navigation on this costs you just under £700. The big question is, how much is a tow bar? The tow bar preparation's already there, and to add the tow bar through VW, you're looking at £366. That's quite good value, to be fair. And this one has a Alco ready tow bar, and it also has 13-pin electrics, so no problem hitching up with your caravan there. Other than that, to be honest, the amount of equipment you're going to get is fairly limited, but what you have to remember is you're not buying an SUV here. This isn't a VW Touareg, this is a VW Amarok, and what you're paying for is its capacity to carry load and to tow. So what we'll do is we'll have a look around the rest of the vehicle, have a quick look inside, and then most importantly, we need to hit the road. The VW Amarok is a four-wheel drive vehicle. It runs on VW's 4Motion. On pickup trucks, it's worth noting that a lot of them have leaf-sprung suspension. This VW does. And why is that? Because pickups are designed to carry a great deal of load in the open back, they need suspension that can cope with that. And the sort of suspension you're going to get on your average SUV isn't going to carry that very well. Hence, we have the leaf. If you don't have a great deal of load in the back, you will sometimes feel the bounce in a pickup as you're driving along. I must say, driving this, it does drive very much like a normal car, so don't be put off. We're going to move on to the back of the pickup truck. Now this is where a lot of people will obviously be carrying their loads. This has got an open back, as you can see, but you can buy canopies to go on there and also rollers as well, so you can secure your load and keep it dry. If you've got animals, it might be that you want a canopy, which is probably what we'd do, and then your animals can go in the back here. You've also going to have plenty of room for all your caravan accessories. So let's venture a little bit further around the back and just have a look at this load space. So here's the back end of the VW Amarok, and this is a really good looking pickup back end as far as I'm concerned. We've got the great big VW badge, the V6 and the Amarok here. But what about the load capacity? Which that's going to be important for a lot of people. Once you lower it down, you'll see it's absolutely huge. And if you're to put a canopy on here, there's going to be plenty of room for all your luggage, your pets, your awning, whatever you want to put in there. The only thing to bear in mind is if you're small like me, once this is down, you are going to struggle to reach down there into the depth of the pickup load area. But as it goes, you're probably not going to get a lot more storage area than this. You can also, as I say, get a roller shutter, which will come off to this bit. So anything you've got will slide underneath. There are rings in this one, which that's an extra, and that's so you can secure down your load if needs be. The good thing about the pickups is that back end's waterproof. So if you don't have a back on it, you can always wash it out, or if it gets wet, it simply doesn't matter. Now, the most important thing for towing is a tow ball. That's situated there, your electrics are there, and the reversing camera is just under here. So when you do reverse, you've got a really good view of the tow ball for when you're backing up onto the caravan. Overall, back end's pretty faultless. Let's have a look inside the Amarok next. The inside of the Amarok, to be fair, is absolutely lovely. The leather seats are great, extremely comfortable. As I say, the seat is not electric. The gear stick is really short and stubby, and I quite like that. It's easy to use, and the 8-speed gearbox works very well. The only thing with the Amarok, and this probably goes for many of the commercials, is it seems quite dated in here. It's quite plasticky. And for 46,000, you might be asking, do I really want that? Well, that's a question to ask yourselves, but we'll come to all that shortly. Inside, it really is a lovely vehicle. The VW Amarok is a twin cab. It has rear seats. In all, you will get 5 seats with this vehicle. There's plenty of legroom, as you can see here, behind the driver's seat. So it is usable as a family vehicle, an everyday vehicle, not just as a tow car. So we've had a look at some of the features of the Amarok, but what we really want to know is how well does it tow? Because if we were going to look at purchasing this sort of vehicle, the main purpose will be for towing. So we're going to hitch up our Adria Adora Isonzo caravan. Our caravan weighs just under 1.8 tonnes. It's just over 8.2 metres long and it's 8 feet wide. We're going to hitch up and we're actually going to now tow to Devon, where we're going to be staying for a week. So it's going to get a good run out and a good test. So let's hitch up and hit the road. If you're purchasing a VW Amarok, one of the main reasons may well be for towing. So we want to know just how well does it perform at that task. The reason we would consider a pickup would be one, for towing, but also secondly, with having a large dog, a pickup with a canopy makes a lot of sense. We lose almost all of our boot simply because Fudge has such a large crate. That's all right for us because we can then use the back seat. But if you're a family of 3, 4 or 5 people, you're going to have a problem. So that's why a pickup might be worth considering as a family vehicle. So just how well does it tow? It's amazing. I'll be absolutely honest, it's amazing. I can't fault the VW Amarok for towing, and I'll tell you why. The 3-litre engine is massive. The power that this delivers is amazing. Any hill is not a challenge for this vehicle, and especially having the Adria on the back, which is a big heavy caravan, I've not struggled at all. Even in Devon we've had some cheeky little hills and this thing has delivered. At 5.3 metres it's a big vehicle, however it does turn very well. And with the reversing camera and sensors, there's not an issue. But when you add it to a caravan, it does make a very long unit indeed. I can honestly say that this is probably the best tow car I've ever driven, and I have towed a lot. I used to tow heavy horses with a Range Rover. This thing is unbelievable. You really can't feel the caravan on the back, which is probably quite a dangerous thing. And what I would say is, if you are towing with it, keep your eye on the speed and keep your eye on your mirrors, because you are towing and you need to remember that. So yeah, it really tows very effortlessly. One thing I would mention is one of the reasons a pickup truck probably does tow well, not only just the weight of it, but also the springs. Most pickups, that's most, not all, have leaf springs because they're designed to carry loads in the back. They're commercial vehicles. Leaf springs are not as forgiving as your family SUV or car. And you must check the warranty terms if you're towing your caravan, because some manufacturers will stipulate in the very small print that if you tow with a commercial vehicle, you will invalidate your warranty. That isn't the case with Adria. The reason it will invalidate it is because it is not that forgiving. What about the mirrors? Although I do tow with these Malenko Granderos, the mirrors on the Amarok are absolutely massive, and they do give a really good view down the sides of the caravan. But you must make sure, even with a pickup, that you use your mirrors. What about fuel consumption? I've been averaging between 22 and 26 miles to the gallon when towing. It depends on the roads. It'll also depend on the weight of your caravan or trailer that you're towing as well. So to summarise, If you are buying a VW Amarok for towing and taking your family on holiday, you will absolutely not be disappointed. At £46,000, it is a lot of money though. However, if you're spending a lot on a big family SUV, it's probably going to be less than many of those choices available to you. So let's head on over to Jules and see what he makes of it when he's not towing.
So, as you can see, I'm behind the steering wheel now. It's VW Amarok. I'm loving driving this. It's fantastic, it really is. So what have we got here? So under the hood, it's a 3 litre V6. It's the 4Motion, 258 PS, 0 to 60 in 7.4 seconds. 7.4 seconds for a pickup truck. That's pretty rapid. That is pretty rapid. The gearbox, buttery smooth. It's an 8-speed box, automatic obviously. Flappy paddles on the steering wheel, so you can put it into manual mode. Utilise those if you wish. Because it is 8-speed, obviously the increments between the gears is very, very smooth. It works really well. I'm loving it. The seating position, what a great view. You sat high, got a good commanding view of the road. Visibility, it's really good. You've got quite big wing mirrors, so the views down the sides are fantastic. The B-pillar doesn't obstruct your view over your shoulder. Great visibility all round. Privacy glass in the back, but it's really nice. The cab up front here, it's spacious, it's luxurious, and it feels really comfy. The seats, you just sink into them. They are leather, these ones, but they are really nice. They are heated in the front, so you've got a little bit of extra there. And how it handles, to be fair, it handles really well. Very sure-footed, very sure-footed. Not as if I've been throwing it about or driving it too quickly, but it just feels like a car. They've come on so much. Even though this is a commercial vehicle, it drives lovely. I'm really enjoying driving this. I've got to be honest. It has put a massive smile on my face. It's so easy to drive. And that sounds really daft, but it just makes you want to drive. So, all in all, from me, it gets a massive thumbs up. I'm loving this. It's great fun. So, thanks for watching.
And here's my top tip for using the sat-nav. When you enter your destination, you will get 3 options. They are the blue route, the red route and the orange route. Do not under any circumstance choose the orange route, because that route means you don't want to go on an A road and you don't want to go on a motorway, and you will go to wherever you're going via every B road and country lane imaginable. And when you've got an 8-foot wide caravan on the back, you'll find that rather difficult, as I did. So I learned a really valuable lesson, and that's make sure you know what you're doing with your equipment before you set off. And if you've got the option of blue, red and orange, I suggest you stick with blue and red. So that is my top tip. So that's it, we've had the Amarok a week, and what do we think? Well, it's been an interesting one, to be honest. This is a £46,000 pickup truck. It's a top of the range. It's right up there as price brackets for pickups go. So if you're buying a pickup, you want to know, why would you spend that amount of money on this? If you've got an SUV and you're thinking about this, you will also be asking, why am I going to spend £46,000 on this? To be honest, the first day we got this, we went for a ride out, and my exact words were, £46,000, I'm just not getting it. And I honestly could not see why I would be spending that sort of money. However, we hitched up, we hit the road, and I towed our caravan. I admit I got the sat-nav a bit wrong. However, it gave me opportunity to tow down every country lane in Wiltshire. I even then managed to hit an A road before I got to the M5. So I towed on a variety of roads for 2 hours. And when I pulled up at Devon, I had a smile on my face. And I said to Jules, £46,000, I know where that is. It's right here on that tow ball. This vehicle, I have honestly never towed with anything like it, and I've towed with a lot of big four-wheel drives, and I've driven quite a few pickup trucks, and as they go, this is unbelievable. That 3-litre V6 engine would pull anything. I've never felt power like it while towing, and the stability of the caravan was unbelievable. That's probably the leaf springs. The bounce from the caravan is not transferred through the pickup like it is in a normal car suspension. I could barely even tell it was on the back. If I'm totally honest, apart from the width of the 8 feet wide, you couldn't even tell it was on the back. So it's left us with a quandary, it really has, because I'm now wondering whether the amount of towing we do with our caravan, would a pickup truck actually be a better option for us? And also with having our dog, a vehicle like this is really practical with a back on it. Something like this, it does make a good family car, and then it also makes an excellent tow car. I'm going to have to put some thought into that, I think. But my question still is, would you spend £46,000 on a pickup truck? I'm not sure I would. I'm not saying this isn't worth it, because it is, but that is a lot of money, and I'd have to think about that. However, in terms of our review and our findings on this, this is an amazing tow vehicle, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend it. So hopefully that's maybe helped you a bit if you're considering buying a VW Amarok specifically for towing or caravanning. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.